Well, here we are. It is another Friday in the mortgage business. My friend KT, welcome. It's the
What's up, dude?
lowdown.
Hey, man, I'm happy
How
to
are
be
you
here.
today?
Dude, if I was doing any better, I couldn't
Dude,
stand
I'm
it.
doing great. Well, that's awesome. Well, I understand that. It's good to see you today, and we're ready to roll here. So, those of you joining us, this is Next Level Loan Officers. This is the lowdown where we talk about, just kind of what's happening in the market, what's going on in the LO world, the LO universe. This is kind of a quick hit. Today, we're going to talk about one topic, and then we're going to kind of hit on a couple strategies. Ken, you ready for that?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Can you hear me okay?
Awesome. We can. We can. Sounds good. It's coming through. All right. So, we got a great article that came out. Let's see, right here out of Redfin. Man, this is this is incredible. In fact, if you're a loan officer listening to this, this should uh this should get you excited. So pending home sales surged 21%, new listings up 7%. Man, so I don't know. I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth. Ken, I know you're out in East Texas, and I'll save my East Texas jokes for later. But man, I know that here in Dallas, Fort Worth, big market, a lot of people, a lot of inventory. But I mean, if you have a home listed, and let's just say you're under 500,000, I mean, you will get multiple offers day one, and that house will be gone. The inventory here in this market is something like it's below like 2.5 months. It's absolutely insane. And so to have pending home sales surge 21%, new listings up 7%, boy, that is just that. Those are crazy numbers. What are you seeing out in East Texas? Are you experiencing a lot of the same thing?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is, man, there's definitely a lot of homes that are being listed, that are being sold with inside of a 2 week period. And so that's a pretty substantial number compared to like last year. It seemed like it was taking, I would say, I don't know, a lot longer to sell homes in some regard, but there was a lot less inventory too. Now it seems like we have a lot more inventory, and homes are still selling in a reasonable amount of time, like 2 weeks. I would say 50% of them are selling with inside of 2 weeks, which is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I can tell you, so loan officers, if you're out there, they're listening to us. One of the things that we track here is every time we get a pre-qual letter request. So if we have a borrower and we issue a pre-qual letter, we track that. We track how many times that we send out a pre-qual letter. We track all the different versions. We track a lot of information here. And so what I can see in our data is that the number of pre-qual letters we're having to issue again and again for the same borrower is up significantly, which tells me that those borrowers are out there competing in a lot of multiple offer situations. They're not getting the deals, so they're having to go back, rebid and rebid. And of course, we're hearing that from our realtor partners as well. So I know the market is just, it's crazy out there. And we've talked a lot about, whether or not there really is a housing bubble or not. We just spent some time in Nashville. We had our good friend Barry Habib kind of pipe in a message for us for all of the next level folks there. And good news is no bubble in housing, at least for the foreseeable future. We just have a lot of demand, folks. And when you have a high demand and low inventory, it's hard to create a bubble. You can't have collapse if that's the case. So we'll see what happens in the next, 4 to 5 years. But I think for now, for the short run, we're safe. You're just going to have to kind of deal with having borrowers that have to put in multiple offers to get what they need. So one of the things, Ken, that you and I were talking about before the show here is, and maybe we can offer to the folks that are listening, is what are some strategies that, let's say, you're doing in your office to kind of overcome that multiple offer scenario? We heard some awesome things from our coaching clients at Next Level last week or the event, but is there anything in particular that you're doing specifically in your office to help agents overcome that?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest strategies that we've done at our office, or still do at our office on a fairly consistent basis, is we do a lot of to be determined property address
Hmm.
approvals. So we're going ahead and submitting it to underwriter, getting these, buyers qualified in underwriting before they purchase a house, so that when they do go and make an offer, they say, "Hey, man, I'm already in and out of underwriting. I've been approved. It's not just a preliminary pre-approval or, even a conditional approval. Mine's actually been through underwriting." And I think that really makes a difference on some of those transactions.
Yeah, and I assume with those, then you're able to close maybe a little bit quicker than you would otherwise.
Well, yeah, you're going to go from, I mean, dude, like today, like we talked to a lot of loan officers. Like, if you're sitting at 72 to 48 hours, I think in underwriting, I think that's really good in this environment. But man, I talked to
Yep.
some loan officers recently that were 9 days up to 20 days of underwriting, and dude, that's like that's a whole different world that I even live in for my business.
Yeah.
But that's the reality, and it doesn't mean that you're with a bad company. There's just a lot of there's capacity issues that we're seeing in the marketplace.
For sure, for sure. So I think that's a great strategy. So you're doing the TBD underwrite, you're getting your borrowers in there, getting them really pre-approved ahead of time, so that now their contract is stronger when they go to make that offer, and potentially they could close quicker, which could put them in a better position if there's multiple offers coming in. Some of the things that we heard, one of our coaching clients, Alan Christian, was sharing with our next level coaching group. We had a mastermind a couple weeks, or just last week. My goodness. Just last week in Nashville, and he was sharing some of the strategies that he uses specifically to help his buyers right now, and a lot of that involves videos and of course BombBomb. So he is proactively sending out BombBomb videos to the listing agents, telling them how well qualified the borrower is, letting them see his face. Hey, I'm a real person. I'm a lender in your community. I've talked to these borrowers. I stand behind them. They're great people. And I'll tell you too, he goes a step further. And I think this is really interesting, where he's actually sending a little gift and a letter, maybe a handwritten note to the seller. So he's sending something to the seller to let them know that his borrower is interested, they're qualified, they're ready to go. All of this in an effort to help his realtors get better positioning when it comes to multiple offer situations. So, man, let me tell you something. If you're not in next level, you are missing out on some just killer ninja strategies that I promise you will get you 1, 2, 3, 4 extra deals a year just by implementing some of this little stuff. So even something as simple as how to win multiple offers, we've got guys out there that are perfecting it and then coming back, and sharing it with the group. I love your TBD approvals, Ken. I love the BombBomb videos, the sending gifts, to the seller or to the listing agent. I think all those strategies are, phenomenal. And loan officers have to be implementing something right now to get those deals accepted.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, man. Also, dude, active listings are down 28%. I was reading that as well. I thought, man, that's just a good indication that, man, homes are moving, bro. Like,
Yep.
compared to what they were just a year ago.
Yeah, and I think this market is going to last. Again, we get a lot of our news from Barry Habib himself, and he's got a lot of great information out there. He keeps telling us, hey, we think rates are going to stay low. We think that home prices are going to stay where they are. So if you're doing a bunch of refinances, you've got borrowers that have a lot of equity in their homes right now. They're able to pull some cash out. It's a good time. I mean, it's just it's a good environment to be in right now. Which I want to touch on. Can I touch on something real quick, Ken, before we kick things off here? Sure. Listen, we will probably do it next Friday. So if you're listening, tune in next Friday. We've got a big announcement. We've been talking about CMA now for a couple of weeks. It ties right into what we're talking about today. If you want to know more about how to read information, read the graphs, the candlestick charts, understand how the money market works, understand the Fed better, man, I'm telling you, this class it's unbelievable. I mean, I've been in the mortgage business. You've been in longer than I have. I've been in for about 8 years. I sat through this, and there were things in there that I've never even seen or heard of before. And so we're going to probably have a special deal. Let's call it next Friday. Next Friday, you're on this show. We're going to have a special deal where the listeners can get, some access to this class at some next level pricing. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's what we call chartered members, guys. and it's going to only be very limited to the people that act the quickest. And that's no sales gimmick there. It's just the reality of what we're going to be dealing with. And
Yeah, that's exactly right.
yeah,
Well,
and yeah, 11 months, man. Been 11 months we've been working on that with
right.
Barry and his team, and they've done an amazing job. Just insane.
Yeah, we're going to have charter memberships open up until October 1st. So after October 1st, that window will close. So make a note, put it on your calendar, 1:00 next Friday. Tune back in here because we'll give you some awesome information, some codes and stuff like that you can go key in so you can become a certified mortgage advisor. Couldn't be more excited about that. Well, man, these shows go quick. My goodness, we talked some news. We talked a couple of strategies. We talked CMA. Whew, we're in and we are out. We've got a busy rest of the day. I know all you loan officers out there are busy, getting your loans wrapped up for the weekend. Ken, anything else that we missed that we need to touch on?
Hey, man, buy low and sell high. Okay?
That's it.
Dude, that's it.
Oh, if we could only master that, right? Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, loan officers that are listening. Again, reminder, tune in next Friday. We're going to have some amazing information about CMA, an amazing opportunity for you that will only be available on this show. So check us out next Friday. We'll be there. We'll talk to you then.